Hello and welcome back to the third episode in my indie author book club. Now, if you love Norse, Scandinavian inspired stories, you are going to want to stick around for this one because in this episode I am going to be reviewing Firefox by Amanda Sloothaak. So stick around and I will tell you more about this book. If you've not been here before, my name is Tracy Mayhew and I write contemporary romances set here in the UK and YA fantasy fiction based on myths and legends. So I know what I'm talking about when I read a fantasy book based on myths and legends and I tell you that it's good. Firefox by Amanda Sloothaak is a really awesome book. It's the first part of the myths of the Northern Lands set in Scandinavia. So in the first chapter we meet the main character who is Dawn Axelli's daughter. She is a young lady who is searching for her place in the world. She is a warrior, but she's also a healer, so she's trying to kind of balance that within herself and the feelings she has around both of those. And the way that Amanda portrays Dawn throughout the story is really touching. It's really relatable, and you do end up feeling for Dawn in a lot of circumstances. I also end up feeling frustrated with her, but more on that in a little while. So the opening of Firefox is really good. It's a really strong opening. It sets up a kind of mysterious uncertainty for Dawn and the rest of her village. There's a sense of mystery surrounding some deaths of merchants that have been happening, and in the first couple of chapters, Dawn and Neelan, one of the other side characters who I love, they discover a dead merchant, and it makes it even more creepy because all this is happening at the with a backdrop of winter around it, so it's kind of like you get the feeling that they're kind of cut off as well, and that kind of ups the stakes for our characters, and I really love that aspect about Firefox. The world building is clear. We get a real sense of the Werger village where Dawn is living, from anywhere from Merchant Row, which is where all the stall holders and the merchants kind of sell their wares, and all the way up to the House of Ear, which is where Dawn practices medicine. I also love how Amanda draws us into the kind of landscape a little bit by talking about nature, by talking about the sense of the change of the seasons and things like that, because it makes a real change from the backdrop of war, the impending war that is coming, and the mystery surrounding that and the sense of fear surrounding that. And I do love any book that talks about nature, woods and things like that, so I was a sucker for that part of the story as well. Side characters in Firefox are awesome. I really loved Dawn's twin brother Jiri. I'm going to say here that I am Amanda's critique partner, so I did see a very early version of this book, but the way that she has developed the characters, the way that she has brought out their idiosyncrasies from that first version, it was like reading this for the first time, basically. It was so different from the way I read it back a year or so ago. Some of my favourite characters, apart from Dawn, was Vidya, Dawn's best friend. She's kind of like a little, like a spy. She knows everything, but we don't know how. She's kind of like a ghost, and she kind of just does her thing in the background and then pops up with a revelation or something like that, and she's kind of cool. I love her. Another favourite character of mine was Neelan, and his relationship with Dawn was lovely to watch and to be a part of. It's a real, like a slow burn romance there, and at times this is the time when I got frustrated with Dawn because Neelan's so sweet and Dawn doesn't see how sweet he is, and I just wanted to shake her with frustration. But I loved it at the same time. It was like a kind of like, I loved to see the development of it, but I was also frustrated that Dawn kept putting the brakes on at times when there was really no need to. And a lot of the other characters in the story as well really flesh out the world for us as a reader, which is really good to see. Another thing that I loved about Firefox is that Amanda includes some really gorgeous illustrations. We've got a map. We've got kind of like a wheel of time here as well to sort of show us the changing of the seasons, and she also includes a pronunciation guide, not only of names of characters but of places and clan names as well, which was really helpful, because if you've ever read a Norse or Scandinavian book, you know that the pronunciations of the words are quite tricky, to say the least. And she also includes a lovely illustration of the Wurja village itself, so that was really good. It's good to refer back to throughout the story, and the pronunciation guide was invaluable. So if you're interested in picking up a copy of Firefox, which I highly recommend, I've recommended it to a couple of people, including my mum. She started reading it, she really enjoys it as well. Then I will leave a link to Firefox in the description box below, where you can go and pick up your copy today. It's an ebook as well as paperback, and I think she's selling hardbacks through her website as well. So if you want, I'll leave a link to her website down below as well. So if you want to go and check those out, please feel free to do so. So that's it for this episode of Indie Author Book Club. I will be back pretty soon with another. I'm hoping to do a couple more this year, at least one more this year, because I have some Christmas books written by indie authors that I would like to read and review, and spread the word of indie authors throughout YouTube, because that's the point of this playlist. We spread the love with indie authors. So anyway, yeah, if you want to check out the rest of this series, I've got a couple of other videos in the series for you to go and look at. You can check that out here. Until then, I will see you next week with a brand new video, and I will be back soon with another indie author book club recommendation. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Have a great week.